Callum Chase is listening. He's author of Surviving AI, and he believes we must expect the occasional accident caused by a machine. Welcome to BH, Callum.
Thank you, Paddy.
Humans often get things wrong, but is it your view that machines get them less wrong less often?
It's not just my view, it's pretty much the established facts. Google's spin-out company Waymo, their self-driving car spin-out, has now driven 10 million miles on the roads of America, and they haven't had a single significant accident, and there's very few human drivers who can claim that. It's pretty clear that, as Brickmasters said, fully autonomous cars will be a great deal safer than human-driven cars. You know, humans kill 1.2 million people every year around the world by running them over. We can stop this Holocaust with self-driving cars, so we should look to speed it up.
And do you think in our coverage and maybe in our reaction, there's a sort of emotion that is angry with a machine for getting it wrong? We feel that we own getting things wrong, and we somehow expect machines to get things right.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame anybody for that. I think it's a perfectly natural human response. There's a real yuck factor about being killed by a machine. It's really, really scary. And the people developing these systems have to be, and fortunately they are, being extremely cautious and making sure they work thoroughly before they're released into the wild.
And with respect to the families who are grieving in the cases of the Boeing crashes, would you, with everything you've said, get into an unmodified Boeing 737 MAX?
That's a very good question. An unmodified one. I don't know enough about that to make a really sensible judgment, and I guess I'd delegate my decision to the aviation authorities and to the people running the airlines, because I would trust them to get it right. So if you're pushing me off the fence with a sharp stick, Paddy, I'd say yes.
Yes, you would get in one.
Yes.
Because it seems to us watching from the media, which is notoriously unscientific, that it took them several days to be dragged to the position in the US to ground these planes. Other jurisdictions were grounding them. And finally, the United States said, oh, yes, there seems to be 2 crashes linked by a fail in the MCAS software.
Well, that's right. And I do most of my flying outside the US, so I'd be a little bit more reassured by the behavior of the non-FAA authorities.
Let's take it back to the philosophical. We love a bit of philosophy on a Sunday morning. Where's the sort of impact on humanity by gifting agency to machines? Do we lose something as humans by being bossed around by a bit of metal?
I don't think we're bossed around by them. I think we use them as tools. And these machines are they're aids to our lives, just like fire was and is, and just like electricity is. You know, we adopt these technologies, we start to use them, and they have huge potential downside. You know, fire is enormously helpful, keeps us warm, enables us to cook food, but also it can burn you. And electricity equally has very great benefits and great potential downsides. These newer technologies are just the same.
It's very nice to hear from you, Callum. Will you come back to the programme? Fans of yours would like you at longer length, I think.
I'd love to, Paddy.
Thank you so much. Callum Chase, author of Surviving AI. Now,